Hello, everybody. My name is Wanda once again, and today we're going to be talking about the vocal tract. Everything may be a little crazy since I'm recording on a device, but I'm like sharing my screen on another one and also recording my face on another device. But I hope all this works and we can talk and learn a little bit about the vocal tract in this video. And we're gonna start with this picture we already have on the screen, which have which has four of the major organs that are used for vocal with the vocal tract for speech production. We're gonna talk today about that, the major organs that are used for speech production, the role in articulation, and also the description of each one of them. Just a little bit. So we're gonna start with the lungs that we can see here. I have pointed each one of them already, so it could be ready for this presentation. So the lungs have a very important role as the initiators of the source stream, airstream. So the lungs are not capable of movement itself, but they get help from the diaphragm to expand and also to retract. And the direction of airstream can be two different ones, aggressive and ingressive. The aggressive one occurs when the air comes out of the mouth, and ingressive can be when the air flows into the mouth. So the pressure of the airstream can be two different ones. The forties first, that is when the muscular effort needed to drive the air out of the body is substantial. We also have the limits as a pressure of the airstream. That is when little muscular effort is needed to drive the air out of the body. Then we are moving here to the lettings, which is actually like this part here. I just didn't want to have the two lines too close to each other. But the lettings, this part we have here, um, is that part of the vocal tract that comes immediately on top of the trachea, which we can see here. The trachea or the windpipe, as it's also known, and it's coextensive with it. The larynx contains the larynx, sorry, contains the vocal cords, as we can see here, and that are also called the vocal folds, that are made of elastic tissue and that are capable of movement. So the larynx also plays an important role in the initiation of the glottalic airstream mechanism. So then we have the pharynx, which is this part here. The pharynx is also a place of articulation for some sounds. The sounds that are known as pharyngeal sounds. The nasal cavity, which is this part up here, the nasal cavity has a fixed shape which is suitable for resonance. In speech sounds, the nasal cavity is either available, in which case the sounds are nasal, and it is also, or it would be also unavailable, in which case the sounds are oral. So to detail a little more about the vocal cords and also all vocal or the vocal tract, we're gonna move to another picture I have up here. Awesome. So we have the vocal cord. So we're gonna talk about the vocal cords, which is pointed out here with this. Uh, so as it shows there, the vocal cords are two, and as I mentioned before, they are made uh, they are made of elastic tissue that is placed in the larynx. They are joined at the front of the larynx and at the level of the Adam's apple and are capable of movement horizontally. So the glottis is the space that is between the vocal cords, as we can see here, and I have pointed out already. So the vocal cords have different actions for speech production. And for the sake of articulation, The vocal cords can assume three different configurations. These configurations are open, closed, and narrow. The open one occurs when the airflow from the lungs is not obstructed. So there is no vibration in the vocal cords, and the sounds articulated are voiceless. When the configuration is closed, the vocal cords are brought into firm contact. So as long as the contact is maintained, there is no vibration. So when they are released, the glottal stop is articulated. So then we also have the narrow one that happens when the vocal cords are closed to one another. So the airflow sets them into vibration and the sounds articulated after that are voiced articulated words or sounds. So the roof of the mouth that we have here is constructed or has three parts. The velum, the hard palate, it just says palate here, but it's the hard palate, and the alveolar ridge. So the roof of the mouth can be divided into these three parts. As I said, the soft palate back here, the velum, which is the velum also, is capable of assuming two positions. It can be either the velum lowered, or which is also known as velic opening, and that happens when the nasal cavity is available. So there is some air in the vocal cavity, but it is blocked at a given point of articulation. So the only passage available for the air is the nose. Therefore, the sounds articulated are nasal sounds. So the velum, the other position that the velum can assume, is velum raised or belly closure. So it happens when the nasal cavity is shut accordingly, and the only outlet available is the mouth. So the sound articulated this way are called the oral sounds. So the velum also serves as a place of articulation. So we're going to talk a little bit about it in a moment. But the velum also plays a major role in the initiation of the vellatic airstream mechanism. So then we have the hard palate up here. So since it's not capable of movement, its role is mainly that of a place of articulation. And the alveolar ridge is the same. It's not capable of movement, and its mainly purpose or role is that of articulation. So then is when the tongue comes in. So in order for sounds to be produced or articulations to be properly produced, ears in or the roof of the mouth being part of it, the tongue is involved. The tongue is a very agile organ of speech. It plays very important role in articulation, both consonants and vowels. The tongue is generally divided into parts for the sake of phonetic description. So these parts are identified on the basis of their position with respect to the roof of the mouth. So here is when they work together, the roof of the mouth and the tongue. And it works this way. The root, the back of the tongue or root, gets in contact with the velum to create certain sounds. The body of or the blade of the tongue gets in contact with the palate or hard palate, and the tip gets in contact with the alveolar ridge. So the tongue can be raised to various levels. The difference between the vowel, for example, I and E, is one of the tongue height. Different parts of the tongue may be responsible for the articulation of vowel sounds. So the difference between the vowels I and U is based on the part of the tongue involved. The back of the tongue or root for the pronunciation of the sound U or vowel U, and the front or tip to create the pronunciation of the vowel I. So the tongue for the tongue actions in consonants can be different or can be produced by different parts of the tongue. So in the sound of the letter T, for example, the tip of the tongue, this part here, is used. So in the sound H, however, is the back of the tongue that is used, so that can be produced. So the tongue also assumes various positions. One special case is the curling of the tongue backwards so that its underside faces the roof of the mouth. This is the case of flex sounds. Then we have the lips, both lips, that can be spread, rounded, or neutered. What matters in speech articulation is whether the lips are rounded or unrounded. So the lip rounded for vowels can be distinguished on the basis of lip rounding. So the vowel A have like two different or can be pronounced differently, taking into consideration if the mouth is rounded or if it is unrounded. So for consonants, lip rounding is involved in labialized consonants. For labial dentalization, the lower lip is involved in labiodental consonants like F and B. The teeth, which we have here, uh, are mostly place of articulation. The teeth interact with the tongue in dental sounds. The teeth also interact with the tongue in interdental sounds, in which the tongue tip is located between the upper and the lower teeth. The teeth also participate in displaced articulations like labiodentalization, in which case the lower lip is made to move backwards to interact with the upper teeth. So that is everything we've covered today. Remembering the vocal tract like is constructed with different parts. Remembering the roof of the mouth, which has the alveolar ridge, the palate or hard palate, the velum. Also, we have the lips and the teeth, the tongue, which has three different parts: teeth, which gets in contact with the alveolar ridge for different sounds, the value tongue or blade, which gets in contact with the hard palate, and the root of the tongue, which gets in contact with the velum. All this part of here is part of the pharynx. And also we have the nasal cavity and all the other cavity. I hope this has been helpful for anybody who was looking for answers or descriptions about the vocal tract. And that's it for today. That's all I had to talk about to you. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye bye.